Indecision is a frustrating thing. Overthinking is the same deal. I keep getting into these situations where I'll finish a game and then I don't know what to start next. It's not that I don't have ideas. I have plenty of games that I want to finish. All this pressure burning in the back of my head. I know I need to finish Armored Core 6, but I haven't. What about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? I know I want to play and beat that game. I love the original Final Fantasy VII. Enjoyed remake, but 40, 50 hours, that's a lot. And what keeps happening is I'll finish a game and then spend 2 or 3 weeks noodling around, opening up my game library and just staring at it. Like just looking at the Steam page or looking at the game library on PlayStation. And so I'm trying to reduce this indecision. It's not burnout. A lot of times with this discussion online, I see the comments where they yell, do something else, touch grass, stop playing games if you can't decide what to do. And there's more nuance than that. I'm touching grass every day, I'm training, I'm enjoying spring to its fullest, but when that 30 or 45 minutes comes up in the evening, and I want to play something, I've got to get over this idea of like the right or the wrong choice when it comes to like a recreational hobby like this. Almost every time I just start playing something, anything, I feel better. The game doesn't have to be perfect for my mood. Sometimes I'll boot up Riders Republic. Maybe I'll try a few minutes of an indie game. I've been playing this weird Gundam game. It's on PlayStation Plus, and it's actually pretty fun. Not because the game was perfect, but because I just stopped overthinking and I just booted something up and played it. Fun doesn't always show up before the sessions. Sometimes it only kicks in after you give it a little bit of time. Now, the obvious thing is, if you got a big list of games you know you want to finish, everybody's got their backlog. Things that are either giving them a little bit of guilt because they haven't played it or gotten the value out of it that they want to, or the more positive way, like the things you truly want to finish when you get the time. Keeping a simple list is really easy. Maybe it's a spreadsheet. I'm not that detailed. I've got a list on my phone. Backlog.com is a great tool. I think it's a cool site. It's kind of like Letterboxd for games. Letterboxd is this like app where you finish a film, you can rate it, you can review it, and there's a whole community of reviews and things like that. Backlog does the same thing, but you get a nice little journal at the end of the year that shows you what you beat, when you beat it, all that stuff, as long as you're just plugging in some of the numbers and the info. Now, that simple list helps for the moments when my brain is fried and I can't make decisions. It kind of goes hand in hand when these moments of indecision occur and like the overthinking starts. It's typically when stress is higher in my life. And so systems and tools like these to take some of the decision out are great, but only if you use them. And that's where I've been at, because I've talked about backlog now for 8 months, 9 months, something like that. And I just, even though I know the tools, there's plenty of times where I just don't use it. Another tool to think about, again, if you're being like really organized, I've talked about this a bunch. I use howlongtobeat.com very often because sometimes I want to know what I'm getting into. There are games where I don't want to look it up. I want to be surprised. I want to play through it and just experience it. But knowing, am I getting into a 50-hour game or an 8-hour game? That may help, your decision if you're trying to plow through something. And even with all that, sometimes the thing I picked or the game I booted up just didn't hit. And it used to bother me. I would carve out the time, I'd start the session, and then 5 minutes in, I'd realize I'm not feeling this game. In the past, I would force it, right? I would just keep playing. Maybe it would get better. These days, honestly, I'll just swap to a different game. I'm trying not to play like 100 things at once, but these days I'm playing more than just one game at a time, and that's kind of helpful. So for like right now, I'm going back through Nier Automata for a second time. It's one of the best games I've ever played. I've only beaten it all the way through ending E once, and mind-blowing experience. Now replaying it, it's so good. And it's a reminder of how much has changed in my life since the last time I beat it, right around release. And it's super cool. I love replaying games. It does take some of the risk out when you know you've enjoyed it and you know what it's like to go through it again. I'm also playing God of War Ragnarok right now on the PS5. Never played that game before. Don't know what to expect. That's sort of the new story game to plug through and make it my slow burn kind of game. I know it's going to take weeks, months. I don't actually know. I haven't looked up how long to beat.com, but that is a no pressure new game. There's the critical acclaim, and it's been pretty cool, pretty fun. I like the old combat of the original trilogy, or however many games were the top-down isometric. It was more than that, but still fun. And then playing a little Minecraft and StarCraft 2 on the PC. So creative option, very sandboxy. StarCraft 2 campaign is just great. And that's kind of my list. That's what I've been doing, and it's been a lot of fun. So it reduces some of that overthinking. Obviously, if I come home, there's time to play and I want to try something new or different, go for it. Just stop crushing yourself with this idea of the right or the wrong way to play, or this efficiency culture we're all obsessed with. Myself, okay? Everybody's using speedrun strats for their life. This world, everything's about productivity, maximizing, optimizing, get the best return on your investment every second of the day. And when that mindset gets too much into our hobbies, it's tough. I don't like the idea of a backlog as a chore list. So I've been actively trying to reject that mindset. However, I do know some level of discipline, some level of structure and dedication to a process or a workflow can give you the satisfaction once you've completed a bunch of games and you've stuck to something that maybe one day you weren't super feeling like it. So it's a weird balancing point. Ultimately, here's what has worked for me in the last year that I'm literally telling myself right now to help with these indecision, these overthinking moments. I keep a flexible list of games that I want to play. I'm aware of what I'm going through right now and what I want to roll credits on, but I'm not overly strict with it. So I stop when a game doesn't feel good and I try something else. I use tools like How Long to Beat and backlog.com to set some realistic expectations and help plan. I do try and schedule a time block for gaming, not the specific game, but I know if I get the opportunity, the chores are done, work is done, typically 30, 40 minutes before bed, I've got a nice window to play a little bit, and that's when I record the footage for these videos. And I remind myself, it is all good to just play. Sporadically, casually, imperfectly. There is no right, there is no wrong, because life is just straight up busy. And games are not the only thing going on. They're an awesome escape, I won't lie. It has been hard lately, just with stuff. Don't need to get into it, but I mean, just emotional challenges. Life is so good, but it doesn't mean that there aren't hardships, and games can be such a good escape. Nier Automata is one of those games I just lose track of time. I get to disconnect for a second. And it's good to have hobbies that recharge us. I think about it like this. If you're a runner and you're training for a race and all you do is go as hard as you can in training 24/7, you never give yourself a chance to rest. You'll go into the race itself really tired and not able to perform your best. You have to have things that recharge you, that self-care mindset, in order to do your best when the time comes. And I think gaming is such a great hobby to refill and recharge. And so make sure it's doing that for you. If it's always this overthinking, am I using my time effectively? Am I picking the right game stuff? That pressure is like training too hard and it drains the battery. It doesn't fill it up. That is what I've been thinking about lately. So with that in mind, what are you playing right now? Hope you're having a great day. I'll see you again on Thursday. And I appreciate your time.